Is that independent film channel film?
Yeah. Is this a sofa or is this a couch or is this a?
It's kind of a love seat because it has two cushions.
Yeah, well, you ordered it.
It's more of a firm futon, really.
That says more,
it folds down.
more about this guy.
Right.
I wanted to talk about Late Night with the Devil a couple weeks ago, and we just never
Yeah.
got around to it. Too much of loving going on. And this little session is going to be about the film. We'll watch the trailer and then give our opinions on it. We both watched it. Shudder. I love Shudder. I think they've been doing a great job. We subscribed to them for a couple of years now.
Jack
And they have a good channel.
Oh, good evening, Night Owls, and thank you for allowing me into your living rooms once again. Well, Night Owls, we've got a heck of a show in store for you tonight, and I'm very excited for you to see it all unfold before your very eyes. I really hope you love it. Gosh, I hope you love it. Please love it. Love it. I'm trying to host a nationally syndicated talk show.
And I'm trying to help you keep it on the air.
We all know how important it is to keep our sponsors and affiliates happy, but in my humble opinion, there is only one person who really matters in this whole darn crazy business.
The Devil.
And that is you, our viewer.
You're meddling with things you don't understand.
Whoa! Now, as you know, here on Night Owls, we think it's very important to keep an open mind. Please welcome Dr. June Ross Mitchell and Lily, the young subject of the book, Conversations with the Devil.
I really don't think it's a good idea, Jack. She's becoming more unpredictable.
That's a good thing. That's why we still do live TV. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for a live television first as we attempt to commune with the devil.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Lily, can you hear me?
Good to see you again, Jack.
Lily, return to me.
This isn't about ratings anymore.
No one's going anywhere.
How could you let it happen, Jack? How could you let it happen?
Please be warned, anyone with young children in the room. What you're about to see
You okay, Jack?
is profoundly disturbing and shocking.
You get out there, Mr. Midnight. And you knock him dead.
It is like a kind of 70s, like Merv Griffin or
Yeah.
old late night Johnny Carson. And then it just keeps ratcheting up every time you go through, and you kind of don't know which way it's going to go. And then eventually you get to the point where you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely completely off the rails.
I really enjoy the main actor. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, I don't do any research.
Right. He's the Russian guy from the Marvel movies in Ant-Man.
I remember him from like The Dark Knight. He was a mentally unstable guy. Anyway, I've always liked his work. I've never really known him, but I've always thought, oh, you know, he's pretty good. He's pretty interesting. He was in Suicide Squad, the later one, playing the polka dot guy. So I always felt like he had something to him, and he just needed a good role, and I think this was it. I don't watch a lot of whole new movies. I know it's shocking, right? We watched stupid crap from the 2000s and 80s and 90s, but all the trailers and stuff, they all kind of look the same to me. It's all either they have like new stars in it, that guy from Dune, that young guy from Dune.
Yeah, he's in everything
Now he's
now.
Willy Wonka or whatever. You know, I don't care about any of that. I want a really good story. I want a really good put together piece of art. And that's asking a lot nowadays because that doesn't make a ton of money. And I think that something like this is one of those gems that gets through. Definitely can pick up and respect and feel the flow of what they were putting out there in a 70s style film. There's no major betrayals, I think, of that 70s world. The black and white stuff that you see is because film back in the day was cheaper in black and white. And if you're doing behind the scenes, it's usually done on a cheaper budget because not many are going to see that.
Right. Well, one of the great things about it is that the devil is in it. And
spoiler.
Right. So it's really cool that they kind of got the Exorcist and paranormal. So there's a few people on there that are definitely on the side that the paranormal is real. And in the background of the show the whole time, there's this guy that's the doubter.
Right.
So they'll one person will go out and they'll do a little trick, and then the doubter will explain how the trick was done and kind of debunk it all.
Right.
And the doubter is getting more and more powerful and debunking these things that seem more and more real.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, holy shit, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
So it ratchets up a really nice way. The crazy Hollywood backstory of just pain and suffering of this host, and where this is his last night to get it right, and it does not go well. So you feel the tension. You're like, it's got to go right for this guy. It's got to go right for this guy. And then when it starts going off the rails, you're like, okay, he should just shut it all down. He's like, nope, I can't stop. I have to keep going. This is my last chance.
It's a lower budget film, good to get distribution. They got a great actor, and then they had other actors that aren't so great in it. They have special effects in it that are great, and then they have other special effects that aren't so great in it. And I took it as, hey, this is almost like a 70s movie. If it was made today, they would purposely blend in some campy stuff, even with CGI from today that's a little campy, and it doesn't look great. But I don't think it was done by mistake. I think it was done, like there were certain effects, I'm not going to give it away, but like some shock effects and stuff.
Right.
That's what it would look like in the 70s
Right.
if they were telling this story. This is the kind of movie I love because it gets by, it feels like it got by big producers. It got by people so that they didn't have all their fingers in it. They weren't going to try to put a star in or another star in there, or how can we sell this to China?
Right.
Like it feels like a really good organic film that got really far for what it was trying to do. Some of it doesn't quite work well. I'm not saying this is an A+ home run AAA film. This is not a Marvel movie. This is not some big film that has a ton of budget. You're going to have to forgive some things. But for our audience, I think that we look past certain things and we look for the charm or the intention, and can kind of let that go. Bret Michaels' wig and all that, we can let that go, right?
Yeah.
Corey dancing, right?
So the dancing is good.
Yeah, see what I mean? So if you can do that, then I think this deserves your attention because it's a really well done film. Overall, it's a solid B, and I'm talking like, whatever your best movie in the world is, that's an A. A solid B is really good nowadays.
Right. One of the things about this film is that it really is kind of an independent film.
Yeah.
And you don't get that with a lot of Hollywood stories these days. They all have to reach the widest possible audience. A lot of things get watered down from the storytelling. And when you are able to kind of overlook some of the production stuff not being at the absolute top level, you're able to see a better story that was written with more bite and more spice. I don't know if I can watch this again.
Wow, really?
I don't do well with horror movies anymore. I grew up on horror movies, but I don't really watch them anymore.
Oh.
I just want to watch car videos.
Well.
And Corey Feldman.
And Corey Cars.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend checking it out if you can handle something on the horror side. Definitely worth watching once for sure. I think it deserves your eyeballs.
It has that old school vibe, yet it's smartly well done. Let us know what you think. If you'd like us to talk about other new or old movie reviews, maybe we'll dip into that. It's not really something, we did that a few times in the past, but nobody watched. So we took that as stop that.
On to Corey Feldman and Bret Michaels.